What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new video. I hope you're all good. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at a team I've been running in the last few days of Great League. The main thing we're going to be focusing on is the power of Shadow Beedrill as a safe swap. So providing your opponent doesn't have a Skarmory in the back, this thing's got a lot of play, and you don't see many of them at all in the Great League. I think it's really underrated. One of the main Pokemon where the Shadow version is better than the normal one, as you can see. So we're going to be running it with the standard moveset, Poison Jab, and we're going to have the Community Day Drill Run as well as X-Scissor. I did use an Elite TM to get the Drill Run a little while back, and the IVs aren't great on the one we're using. It's a 414.6, which is ranked about 700, and as you can see, I've actually got a much better one now, so that's sod's law. We're going to be pairing it up with Trevanant in the lead. This is a 12-14-12, ranked about 570, so not too bad. It's going to have Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, Seed Bomb as usual. And then in the back, we're going to have Obstagoon. So we've got two answers to the dark types that Trevanant's weak to. And it's going to have Counter, Cross Chop, and Night Slash. And the IVs are really bad on this. It's pretty terrible. It's ranked about 1800 odd. And you see that he's upset with me because I said his IVs were bad. I'm sorry, Obstagoon. I love you. Anyway, into the battles, and this video is going to be a little bit different as the majority of the battles will be lost leads, just so we can showcase how good Beedrill is on the swap. So into the first battle, we had a Abomasnow on the lead, which is really bad for the Trevenant, so we made a swap into Beedrill, and they actually stayed in a bit, so we was able to do quite a lot of the Abomasnow's health before they made a swap into Azumarill. They did throw a Weather Ball, so we had to use one shield, and now we're going to decide to actually commit our second shield, because we're going to be able to farm down the Azumarill all the way, and they must not be super strong against Beedrill if they're making a swap into Azumarill against the Beedrill. So straight away, bamboozling my opponent, didn't know what to do, and actually swapped in something the Beedrill destroys. And now we've got two drill runs to go against the Sableye. We could actually just bait, but there's no point because we're not going to get up to another move anyway, so we're just going to throw the back-to-back drill run. Do they want to commit both their shields? They do, so that's great. So Beedrill's won the swap. I think they must have come in with the Azumarill there because they wanted to just get it out knowing that the Trevenant was going to counter it, and then they could have saved the Sableye for the Trevenant, but in reality they just gave us a load of farm and we were able to get the shields out of them anyway. So now we've got the alignment with the Obstagoon, should be able to take them out with two Night Slashes, and then we should be able to finish off the Abomasnow with what we've got left on the Obstagoon and the Trevenant. So that Night Slash didn't kill the Sableye, so we quickly swapped into the Trevenant to farm them down and now get off a Seed Bomb against the Abomasnow where it's so low and it is Shadow. It's going to be taken out. We Shadow Claw down the Sableye, and that's a good first game. So straight away, showing the power of the Shadow Beedrill on the swap. So into the next one, we've got Oceano. I do remember facing this trainer one time before the season already. So we had a really bad lead in Umbreon. So straight away we swapped into Beedrill, and they stayed in it and decided to throw a foul play. So that's absolutely fine. And then they made a swap into Deoxys. So not really the best answer to Beedrill, as the counters are double resisted and they're not getting stab off them. So they're going to be doing virtually no damage to us. And as you can see, the X's are being super effective, absolutely tearing into the Deoxys. At this point now, they're so low, we can easily shield this up and we should be able to farm them down. Yeah, we're just going to double shield and we're going to farm them down because, again, if they're bringing in Deoxys, they must not have a hard answer to Beedrill. So then we're going to have two X-Scissors ready to go against the Umbreon if they bring it back in. And then we're assuming whatever else is in the back is weak to Beedrill as well. So they do bring the Umbreon back in. So we're just going to go for the X-Scissors here. It does quite a lot of damage to the tanky Umbreon. Even though X-Scissor isn't the most powerful move, just because of the Shadow type Beedrill, we're able to do a lot of damage, almost taking it out. So the Beedrill is almost taken out two Pokemon here in this matchup. Absolutely crazy. And then they brought in the Azumarill. So that's absolutely fine. We're just going to do as much damage as we can. And then we're just going to have the Trevenant in the back there to take out the Azumarill. So unfortunately, this matchup is not the best for Obstagoon. What we did is we actually built up a lot of energy to fake like we had the Gunk Shot, but my opponent knew better and they didn't actually give up the shield there. So that is kind of what I was going for. If you are shields down, then there's no point building up to the Gunk Shot. You want to just fish for the boost and see how much damage you can do. So we're going to bring in the Trevenant now, and I'm just hoping they haven't farmed up too much energy because obviously two moves is going to take us out. Trevenant is really squishy in the Great League, so you can see how much damage an Ice Beam did. So we build up to the Seed Bomb, throwing it in line with the bubbles just to make sure they don't get one through because that could flip the matchup, and we're just able to get up to that second Seed Bomb. I was really worried there they were going to get to the second Ice Beam, but we were just able to outpace them, and then we Shadow Clawed down the Umbreon. So that's another really good game, and Beedrill again flipping the matchup there, able to take out a Deoxys and nearly an Umbreon. So absolutely crazy win. It's got two shields, really, really powerful and underrated. So into the next battle, another terrible lead, as I said. Licky Tongue on the lead. So we're going to swap into the Beedrill straight away, and they're staying in. So they're going to throw a body slam, which will do a lot of damage to the Beedrill. So we're going to shield this up, and then they make a swap into Medicham. So that's actually completely fine with us, as we're going to be doing neutral damage with all of our moves. And the counters are double resisted. As I said, we're poison and bug type. So therefore double resisted counters, so they're doing pretty much nothing. So we get shield out of them, and once again we decide to actually commit a second shield. It is just an ice punch, so we probably could have survived that, but we thought, what the hell, we'll just get both the shields out of them. So we're going now for the X's. We're definitely going to get the second shield out of them. And then what we do is we made a swap into the Trevanant. And the reason that I did this is because we know that we've got the Beedrill there with a little bit of energy. But we've got the Obstagoon in the back for the Licky Tongue. So basically I wanted them to lock themselves in against the Trevanant. Then we're going to farm them down with the Obstagoon, because we don't really need the Trevanant now, I think, because obviously they've put in the Medicham. I think the reason they swapped in Medicham was to get it out there, because obviously Trevanant is a hard counter to Medicham. Was not a hard counter, but it's a good counter. So anyway, now we're going to come in, like we said, with the Obstagoon. We can easily tank 2 body slams or a body slam and a power whip, and then we'll have some energy to go for whatever they've got in the back. And we still have that Beedrill in there with, I think, maybe 1 or 2 poison jabs worth of energy to rely on. So let's see what else they have. So they actually have a Azumarill. So we're going to quickly come in with the Beedrill, because we need to get off some damage against them before they get to a move and take us out. If we just stayed in against the Azumarill with Obstagoon, they would have just been able to build up so much energy, because we don't threaten them with anything. Even by the time we would have got to a gunk shot potentially, which we don't have, they still would have been able to take us out. So in comes the Obstagoon. Can we get up to another move? I'm expecting them to catch, and they do try and swap in the Medicham and catch, and somehow are able to counter the Medicham down, get off a Night Slash against the Azumarill, and take the win. So that was looking a bit dicey there at the end, but we knew they were going to catch, and we were able to hold our nerve there and actually just continue hitting that fast move button and counter down the Medicham, take the win against the Azumarill. So really good battle, that one, enjoyed it. And into the next one. So this is a bit of a different lead. It's not actually a hard loss, even though Shadow Beedrill is going to be doing so much damage to everything. As you can see, what was that, 4 charms, and we're already in the red. So we're going to go for the Seed Bomb. We've already done a decent amount of damage. Quickly swap into the Beedrill and do a lot of damage to them. Look at that, almost taking them out in that short space of time. And now the Vigoroth comes in. So this is a decent thing again for Beedrill to see. Counters again resisted, and they're not getting stabbed, but a body slam will do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, Beedrill is quite frail, being the shadow version. We go for a drill run, which I think is completely unnecessary, but luckily we are able just to get up to another drill run and take them out. I think maybe an Xizor would have done it, but we could have at least baited, and now they've actually got a Unova Stumpfisk in the back. So we're actually going to shield this up, as this is a Beedrill video, and then we're just going to hit the Stumpfisk with a drill run just to see how much it does. This is going to be doing a lot of damage, as it will be super effective, as you can see there, as it's part electric type. And now they're going to take us out, and we've pretty much won this battle now, because we've got the Trevanant we can bring in, but they've still got the Gramble. So we bring in Obstagoon to counter down the Shadow Fairy, and then my opponent backs out. So that's another great game. I just included that one just because of the countering down the Gramble there with the Obstagoon. So into the next battle. We've got Talonflame on the lead, and this is an absolutely terrible lead for this team. It's basically the biggest core breaker. We've got 2 things that are weak to fire, and Obstagoon obviously isn't the best against flying types, simply because of the resisted counters. So what we're going to do is we're going to bait with a Seed Bomb, which is incredibly risky. If they don't shield this up, they would have been game over already. So then we make a swap into Obstagoon, as we don't want to go into Beedrill. It was our only option, and unfortunately, as I said before, we should be building up to Gunk Shot now, but I didn't have the nerve to do it, because I'm worried that if they get off one play rough, it's going to pretty much take us out, so we might not do any damage to them at all. And yeah, we just don't want to be using any more shields. So therefore, we're just going to try and do as much damage as we can. So it must be quite annoying for the opponent trying to build up as much energy, and you're just spamming them with Night Slashes that are doing absolutely no damage. But we have got them into the yellow, so that's not true at all, is it? So we bring in the Beedrill now. We know we can survive an Ice Beam. And then we're going to have to keep the shield, because they're going to be able to get off another move with the Talonflame. They do come back in and get off the move, and they do a lot of damage to us with 1 Incinerate, which is really unfortunate. Going to go for the Xizor, which I expect they're going to shield up. And they do shield it up, and then we come in with the Trevanant. We go for the Seed Bomb instead of the Shadow Ball. I don't know why we didn't just try and build up to Shadow Ball. Oh no, it's because they're able to take us out, so that shows. come back in, quickly poison jab them down, and we're looking in a terrible spot. But they have a shift tree in the back, so there is still hope, because we're going to be able to one-shot the shift tree with an X-Scissor. Goodbye shift tree, but they still got that Zimmeril with some help in the back, and we're not quite able to do it. If we hadn't taken that damage from that Incinerate off of the Talonflame, I think we could have pulled that one out of the bag. But yeah, we nearly did it, even though we had the worst lead possible. Luckily, I've not seen too many Talonflames with this team. So into the next one, we have Umbreon again, and we made a swap into the Beedrill, and they come in with the thing that I can't remember the name of, Roserade. That's the one, Roserade. Anyway, so you can see how much damage we're doing to the thing. Roserade, I literally just said it. So anyway, they're going to be able to take us out with Weather Ball, but we're not too bothered about that. We're just going to double shield, and we're going to farm them down all the way. As you can see, the poison jabs absolutely tearing into the Roserade, and now we're going to have some loaded energy for whatever they come in with. So it is, again, Umbreon coming back into the fray. So I don't know if that means that they've got something else in the back that is weak to Beedrill, because we're going to be doing so much damage with these X-Scissors, and they surely would want to keep the Umbreon for the Trevenant. So interesting, and it's actually a Venusaur. So they got they had 3 things that were weak to Beedrill. So we've made the swap into the Obstagoon, and we know at this point that we can just sack the thing. So we're going to go for these Night Slashes and spam them off before they get to a move, just to force them to use this last shield now. And we do actually get the boost. Not that it matters too much, because we're going to probably be taken out with a Frenzy Plant now. We're just hanging on, so it does matter, because we're able to get to the Night Slash, which forces them to use their energy. But a Frenzy Plant would be double resisted, and we've still got that Trevenant in the back. The Beedrill comes back in, he farms them down, gets to an X-Scissor, and the Trevenant didn't even see any play at all in the entire battle, because the Beedrill was just so OP against their team, where they were all weak to Beedrill, having the Dark Double Grass team. So that's the algorithm for you there, mate. So into the next one, we've got Stunfisk on the lead, and my opponent backs out straight away. So they were obviously having a really bad day. The algorithm wasn't pleasing them either, so they just backed straight out, left that in there for the lulz. Anyway, moving on into the next one. So we had Altaria on the lead, so really, really bad for the team, and we don't really have the option to make that swap out into Beedrill on this one, because it will be absolutely destroying us with the Dragon Breath. So we threw the Shadow Ball, and I was really, really happy to see that they let it go through, and now we're just going to go for a Seed Bomb, which won't actually be enough to take them out, as it's double resisted, but we just want to threaten the shield, and they do shield it up. So we quickly swap into Beedrill to see if we can poison jab them down, and we do, which is really, really great. And I do not know whether they actually just panicked there and didn't hit their move, or maybe their IVs weren't that great, because I played that matchup out a few times and we weren't able to do that the way we did. So they did bring in Deoxys, so that's going to get absolutely destroyed by the Beedrill, once again making me think that their back Pokemon must be weak to Beedrill. So we're definitely going to shield up the Psycho Boost, which will take us out. And then my opponent makes a swap into Meganium. So yes, once again, they are double weak in the back to the Beedrill. So it shows how things work out. We had the Altaria in the lead, which was good against our entire team. But then we had the Beedrill, which was good against their back 2 Pokemon. So they needed to keep that Altaria alive. Another good game there. The Beedrill coming in clutch. And we roll on into the next one. So see what we got. And we've got Nidoqueen on the lead. So this is quite an interesting matchup. It's not a losing matchup necessarily. Depends how it plays out. The Shadow Ball will be taking out the Nidoqueen. And obviously they'll be able to farm us down after the 1 Poison Fang and shielding up. But they did actually make a swap out into the Obstagoon. So that's actually really good for us. We don't have to worry about playing that matchup out. So we just bring in the Beedrill. Now we're going to be doing a lot of damage with the X-Scissors. But obviously we will have to shield up the second Night Slash. So you can see there the damage that it did to the Obstagoon. So nearly taking them out, but we're just going to have to shield this up, and then we can poison jab them down. Then we've got some energy to go for whatever they bring in. So it may be the Nidoqueen again. And if it's the Nidoqueen, we can threaten them with the Drill Run. So we're actually going to bait them with an X-Scissor here, as a Drill Run will definitely take them out. Hoping that they shield this up. They do shield it up. And now we're going to make a swap into the Trevenant. I think we're just trying to get off our energy, but we did actually catch a Poison Fang, which isn't too bad. We managed to get off the Shadow Ball as well, which is really good. Expecting they'll let this go through. They do let it go through, so it takes them out. And it's Scrafty in the back, and we're actually able to get up to a Seed Bomb as well. So Trevenant going absolutely mad, hanging on with their 1 HP. Does a nice amount of damage to the Scrafty. And now it's just all about getting it down quite low with the Obstagoon. Obviously, they're going to be doing double super effective against us with the counters. But all we need to do really is just get that shield out of them, because I think we've got some energy on the Beedrill, and then we can take them out. Yeah, we do actually have a stored move, so we're just going to take them out with the X-Scissor and say goodbye to the Scrafty. So that's another good win. That was a common team, the Nidoqueen Double Dark strat, so we're able to take that out with the team there with 2 Dark Answers in the back. So into the next one, we've got another Umbreon lead, so really, really bad again. We make a swap into Beedrill and they bring in the Marowak. So this is a bit of a weird matchup again. We're going to actually bait them with X-Scissor because a Drill Run will take them out. They're taking us down quite low with the super effective Fire Spins. But we should just be able to get up to a Drill Run. So do they want to commit 2 shields? Because we let the Bone Club go through. And yes, they don't actually want to commit their second shield, so that's really good for us. Beedrill once again winning the switch against a fire type, so it shows how good it is. That Drill Run just gives it so much coverage against things that would really dominate it, like rock types and fire types. So we won the switch, so we brought in the Obstagoon against Umbreon, they throw last resort, and then they swapped out into the Azumarill, so we brought in the Trevenant. So now we're looking quite good. We're just going to go for the back-to-back seed bombs, and then we're going to just try to get up to that 3rd one before they can get to another Ice Beam. So we're looking okay here, and it is just a result of the Beedrill winning the switch. Winning switch advantage isn't always key depending on team composition, but 9 times out of 10 you want to have that switch advantage, and having something like Beedrill, which is just kind of unexpected and has so much coverage, is a really good place in the meta at the minute. So we're going to be able to win this match comfortably, all thanks to the Beedrill. So thank you, Beedrill. Anyway, just as a reminder to you all, if you didn't know, it is Go Battle League Day on Sunday. So we'll be getting 25 sets, and it will be 4 times Stardust for the battles that you win that are Stardust rewards within the set. So the first one, and I think it's the 5th one. So even if you're not really that interested in doing the whole load of sets, you can actually just go in, win 1 battle of the set, and then just forfeit the rest, and you'll be getting a lot of Stardust that way. So just a little tip for you. Going into the next one, we've got Bastiodon. So this is an interesting matchup. Obviously, the thing's very tanky. Flamethrower will be doing a lot of damage. So we're going to shield it up. I think we can outpace them to the 3 Shadow Balls. So it depends on whether they want to shield up one of them. A lot of the times, they don't shield up the first one, but they do in this matchup. So really interesting. So now we're just going to get up to another one. And I think we should just be able to get up to the 3rd Shadow Ball before they can get up to another move, can we? I think we did sneak in a Shadow Claw at one point. So I think that really did help us. So see if they want to commit a second shield, they don't, and we win the switch advantage against the Bastiodon with Trevenant. So shows how powerful the tree is. Even though it's quite squishy, it outputs a lot of damage. So it's quite impressive. Anyway, so we managed to win the swap, and we've got the Obstagoon against the Sableye. The return's going to do a lot of damage, but we're actually not going to shield it up because we're thinking that we should be okay. So now we've actually got a Venusaur in the back. So that's perfect alignment. We get the Beedrill against it. We can easily survive whatever they throw. They do correctly throw the Sludge Bomb because Frenzy Plant is double resisted. So it does a decent amount of damage to us even though it is resisted. We're going to be able to get them low with an X-Scissor. an X-Scissor. So then they're on 1 HP, they take us out of Frenzy Plant, we're going to come in with Obstagoon, and now we're going to have to get up to 2 Night Slashes to take out the Sableye, and even though they're doing resisted damage against us with a foul play, it's definitely going to take us out at this health, because we're getting really low. We do get the boost there, which I don't think would have mattered. I think we still should have been able to take it out with Night Slash, but it's always nice just to seal the win there. Obstagoon going off. Absolutely love using this Pokemon. It's one of my favourites in all the leagues. Well, not Master League. I haven't got one built for that, but apparently it's quite good in there as well. So next one, we've got Ninetales, Alolan, and it's actually the Charm version. And they make a swap out trying to catch a move into the Umbreon. So that's absolutely fine with us. We're going to bring in the Obstagoon, as Obstagoon is going to get destroyed by Charm. So we wanted just to bring this in. We might as well save the Beedrill there for the Ninetales, as it will be destroying it with the poison jabs. So we're just going to build up as much energy as we can, and we're going to let ourselves get down really low as well. We don't want to just take them out straight away, because then whatever they bring in will have a lot of farm against us. So we're letting ourselves get down really low, building up to max energy. Now we're going to throw the cross chop, and then expecting they'll probably come back in with the Ninetales. And we do riskily go for one more cross counter before throwing the cross chop. So we get it off. Have we got enough to get to another one? No, we're not. They're just going to charm us down beforehand. That's absolutely fine. We're going to bring in the Beedrill now. And we're going to commit our first shield, because we don't want to take too much damage with this thing. And they've got Sableye in the back, so that was a good call, because we need to actually do a lot of damage against this thing as well. With the Trevenant, it has got a better matchup against Ninetales than the Sableye still. So it's really good that we won that alignment. The opponent probably would rather have the Sableye against the Trevenant, but obviously they were forced to swap out because they didn't want to get farmed down by the Beedrill with the Alolan Ninetales. So now we went for the 2 X-Scissors. We probably couldn't have got to a Drill Run, and then we'll make a quick swap out into the Trevenant. We do have a Seed Bomb, so they let that go through, and then we've got that Ninetales left, and it does still have 1 shield, and we're able to get up to a Seed Bomb bait, so hopefully they'll shield this. I would have thought they will, because it's going to be taking them out. What am I saying? So then we come back in with Beedrill. Can we get them down before they get to a move? We can. So once again, the Beedrill closing out the game, but the Trevenant put in so much work in that match, it was insane. So we're going to the next one against Roger. How you doing, Roger? With his nice goomy hat. And we've got the Trevanant mirror match. So quite interesting. I made a swap straight into Beedrill. Usually I just play this out, so I don't actually remember this battle at all. So we did actually go straight for the X-Scissor, and they made a catch on the wall rain. So that's absolutely fine with me, because we need to do damage against it anyway. So we're going to shield this up, and then we're just probably going to go for an X-Scissor just to see if we can get a shield out of them. If they shield this up, we may be able to farm them down the whole way, I'm not sure, but it might be another one of these occasions where we do actually just commit both our shields and farm them down, as the Beedrill with loaded energy is just so threatening against everything, well, apart from like a Skarmory maybe, and there's probably a few others, but that's the main one I can think of that's common in the meta. So Trevenant comes back in, we're going to go straight for the X-Scissor. They did get through a Shadow Claw there. They choose to let it go through, which is really interesting, and then they get off their energy because they know that we're at a second move, so good counting by them. And it is just a C-Bomb, even though it's double resisted, it takes us out. And then they made a swap as soon as we come in with the Obstagoon into Drapion, so that's absolutely brilliant because we do not want to see the Drapion with the Trevenant. We're already getting down into the deep yellow with just some counters and a cross chop. Likely this is going to be a Sludge Bomb, which will do a lot of damage, but that's absolutely fine. Now we're just going to go for the Night Slash here because we think that they're going to shield it up, and we're fishing for the boost, sorry, and we do actually get the boost, which is insane. Is it going to help us out in the long run? They take us out of a crunch anyway, so maybe those counters could have helped us out. They're really low now. They're going to definitely get to a crunch, so this is going to be putting us into the red. And then they quickly swap in their Trevenant, and if you see there, they just actually managed to get a Shadow Claw in before we was able to get off the Seed Bomb, and then we're not able to Shadow Claw down the Drapion with 1 HP, so they managed to take us out. That was a really crazy close battle there in the end, and that Shadow Claw they got in just before the Seed Bomb there was crucial in taking us low enough for 1 Poison Sting to take us out. So into the next battle, and we had Sableye on the lead, so really bad lead for the Trevenant, so we made a swap into the Beedrill, and they chose to stay in. So really interesting, they chose to stay in. They must not have an answer to it. They must have another answer for Trevenant in the back. So we did bait them with an X-Scissor, and now we're going to go for the Drill Run, and this will do a lot of damage if they let it go through, and it does take out the Sableye, so we win the switch, and they come in with Bastiodon, and unfortunately we're not able to get up to a Drill Run before they're going to be smack-downing us down. So we go for the X-Scissor, which is double resisted, still does an okay amount of damage, then they back out when they see the Obstagoon. So they must have had someone else in the back that was weak to Obstagoon or the Trevenant, and they knew they messed up. So goodbye, son. Into the next one, Bastiodon on the lead again. So let's see if this plays out any differently to the last time. We're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball again. We're not mucking about with a bait, if they let it go through, it's not going to be good. But I think we do go for a bait actually after this, and then let it go through. So, so we're going to shield up the Flamethrower like we did last time. We want to pressure the shields here. And this is the risk now if you go for Seed Bomb. Such a stupid decision. Like I say, you can just go straight Shadow Ball, so we should have done that. So we tried to snipe the Bastiodon then with Obstagoon, keeping some health on the Trevenant, but they actually just throw the smackdown, so that's fine with us. And they bring in Medicham, so not great for us at all really. They're going to be able to just counter us down the whole way, as we're not threatening them with anything really. So now we bring in the Trevenant, we go straight for a move because we know they're going to be at a move. So we're hoping that we CMP tire here. They do shield it up thinking it could have been a Shadow Ball, and they didn't throw their energy either, so that's really bad for us. So now we're going to go for a Seed Bomb, as we're probably not going to be able to get up to a Shadow Ball. Luckily we do CMP this time, so we wasted some of their energy, and now we're bringing the Beedrill just to poison jab them down, see what they got in the back, and it's the Sableye again. So this is another matchup that we can win. We are just going to go straight Drill Run, as we can get up to 2 anyway, so if they were to let this go, let a X-Scissor bait go through, that could actually pull the win through for him. So now we're just going to go for the straight Drill Run, and it's going to do a lot of damage. It gets them down into red, and just get the poison jab through as they threw the foul play there, so they'll be going straight down after this. Goodbye Sableye, and once again Beedrill winning the match for us. So I really enjoy using this thing. I do recommend it, and like I say, a lot of people aren't expecting it, so it's been really fun to run. Into the next one, we've got Lickitung, so once again, absolutely terrible lead. We come in with the Beedrill, and they are staying in. So once again, we're going to use the shield against the Body Slam, and now they make a swap into Medicham. So it's the same line. This is another really common line in Great League. It's usually, Lickitung, and then Medicham, and I think sometimes Sableye in the back. So we went for the X-Scissor bait, and they shielded it up, and now we're going to go for a Drill Run. And now we know this is just an Ice Punch as we was counting the counters, and I'm pretty sure it's 8 counters for a Psychic, so we knew it was just the Ice Punch, so we let it go through, and we're able to poison jab them down, so that's absolutely amazing. And now they come in with a Zoomeril, so that's pretty good. We're going to just go for the drill run now and put them down into the not even half health, because that's how tanky XL Azumarill is. So we're bringing the Trevenant. Now we've won that swap alignment. It's really, really good. We know we can eat one Ice Beam, so we're going to let that go through, and we're really looking out for that swap, because obviously Liquid had done a lot of damage to us and we needed to get off the Seed Bomb against Azumarill. So we were really on guard for the swap, and we brought the Obstagoon in a flash. The opponent didn't know what had happened. He was like, what? So we go for the Night Slash, thinking they're going to shield this up, and they don't shield it up. So really interesting. When we did undercharge, and what we're doing there is because we actually need them to get us down a bit lower, because we don't want them to farm up any more energy with the Azumarill. So that's what we was doing, but we have got a lot of energy to go ourselves now, and we're going to be able to get the Azumarill quite low. So Obstagoon taken out its fury against the Azumarill. It's like, you fairy idiot, I'm so sick of you. You're always making me look stupid. So you know what? Eat Night Slashes, you little git. So anyway, they choose not to shield up the last one, as they know we've got a Seed Bomb on the Trevenant, so they knew that it was just a foregone conclusion. GG's to them. Unfortunate. Once again, having a lot of fun here. This team's really good. I love all the Pokemon on this team. If you've followed the channel for a while, you know I've featured Trevenant and Obstagoon before in a couple of videos, so really recommend both of those. Continuing on into the next battle, and we did actually have a good lead in this one. So we had the Deoxys of defense against the Trevenant, and they made a swap into Greedent, and I accidentally went into the Beedrill. So used to just making the swap into the Beedrill. We should have come in with Obstagoon, so it was a really big misplay by me. But I think we're able to work our way out of this. I can't completely remember, but I think that's why I left this one in. So it's one of the only times in the video where we won the lead. So we're getting them quite low with the poison jabs and the X-Scissors. We're actually going to let this go through. So you've been a good servant, Beedrill, but in this match you're not going to be needed. So we're coming with the Obstagoon, and they got that Deoxys defense there. So not looking good for us, because obviously the counter is going to be doing a lot of damage, but their charge moves won't be doing too much to us. We do choose to make a swap into Trevenant halfway through, so we're baiting out what they got in the back there, and it was the Obstagoon. So this is looking really hairy for us now, but we're going to be able to threaten them with some spammy Seed Bomb damage. It does do quite a lot to Obstagoon. I think 3 will be enough to take it out. So we're trying to time the charge moves once again, so we don't let any of their fast moves go through, and we were able to deny them a free counter, and we get up to the 3rd Seed Bomb. So now we're threatening the shield with them. I expect they are going to shield it up, because they got the Obstagoon in the back there, and now they're building up a lot of energy. We're probably going to shield this up and store some of the energy on them, because the switch time is up. So we come in with the Obstagoon and counter them down, and now they've got that Deoxys defense, and we've got a move stored on the Trevenant, so we should be able to take them out. I think even if this is, it is the Thunderbolt, so they're taking us out, but we're able to get up just to the Shadow Ball, and we're taking out the Deoxys defense. So after that absolutely terrible play in the beginning of coming in with the Beedrill, we actually lost switch, but we were able to pull it back with some nice energy management and some quick swaps in. So into the final battle of the video, we had one of the worst leads we could possibly get in the Mandibuzz, so it'll be resisting all the moves from the Trevenant. We made a swap out into the Beedrill, and they come in with Bastiodon, so getting completely hard countered on all fronts, and this is true hard countering, but we do have the drill run there at least, and we're able to get up to 2. So this is going to be definitely forcing the shield from the Bastiodon, and that is actually going to be quite crucial for the rest of the matchup. So we've been completely hard countered at the start of it, but we know we need that Obstagoon for the Mandibuzz, so we're going to have to let this go through and put all our faith in the Obstagoon. But if they've got something like an Azumarill on the back, then we're going to be screwed. But you're going to think that they're not going to have another thing that's weak to Obstagoon, because they already have the Mandibuzz and they have the Bastiodon. So they bring in the Mandibuzz now, and they didn't swap out. They chose to throw their energy, which is just an aerial ace, and they're still staying in. So that tells me they may have something in the back that doesn't want to see Obstagoon. But that's not necessarily the case, because sometimes in these matchups, even when you've got a good option in the back, if you know this is one of the last Pokemon in, then you're just going to stay in there and do as much damage, maybe try and get shields out of them. So this is going to be a very tedious end to the video, as this matchup is so slow, where we're talking about Mandibuzz, one of the tankiest Pokemon in the league, and then we've got a non-stab cross chop, which is a really weak move anyway from Obstagoon. So we're slowly chipping down at them, and the main thing that we're doing here is we're just ensuring that we're always over farming, because we want to have energy. Say they swap something in quickly, we want to have that energy to go, and they do exactly that. So we've got the Night Slashes to go now against a Sableye. So they were triple weak to Obstagoon. So Obstagoon absolutely going off here. Are we still going to be able to make this work? We're taking this chip damage from everything. We make a swap into Trevenant, as we don't have any shields left. And now the win is in sight after that absolutely terrible start. We're going to get off a Night Slash. We've got some stored energy for the Mandibuzz, which is getting quite low in the back. Can we get up to the cross chop? We can. So we're going to be able to take the win in an incredible end to the video. What a crazy match. I thank you all for watching. Stay angry, trainers.